Hello everybody. Today we will start with a new chapter in maths, that is standard 8th ICSE maths, that is direct and inverse variation. Now the chapter direct and inverse variation is divided into three parts. The first part being the direct variation, the second part being the inverse variation. So that is one part which is direct variation. The next is inverse variation. And the third part is time and work. Now, so these are the three parts of the chapter. Let's understand what each and everything means. When I say direct variation or basically when I am talking about variation means when two or more quantities are going to go up and down or varying with respect to each other. So when it is such that both the terms, if I am getting two terms, if both the terms are going to increase together and decrease together, then such a kind of a variation is called direct variation. Like for example, if I go to buy one pen, it is going to cost me 20 rupees. Suppose I buy 4 pens, so if my pens are increasing, automatically the cost also increases. So if one pen is costing 20, 4 pens will cost 80. So you can see, if my number of pen increases, my cost also increases. If the number of pen decreases, my cost also decreases. So whenever both the quantities are going to be increasing and decreasing simultaneously, it is called as direct variation. So here you can see in direct variation you have got both quantities increase or decrease together. That means if one increases, other also increases. If one decreases, other also decreases. Okay, so whenever you have got anything which is connected to, like for example, we will take example of, as I said, about a cost of certain things. If one thing costs something, then the greater quantity will cost more than that. So if one pen costs rupees 20, then 4 pens cost rupees 80, automatically 10 pens will cost rupees 200, or if I 10 say kam kar diya, 8 pens will cost me 160. So always it is going to be this way. More the quantity, more the cost. Or else, if I am taking that, if I take 5 minutes to do one sum, then if I want to do 5 sums, it will be 5 into 5, that is 25 minutes to complete 5 sums. So if my number of sums I am doing is increasing, the time also is going to keep on increasing. If the number of sums decreases, the time also decreases. Okay, so whenever both the quantities, okay, we in this chapter we are normally going to take only two quantities. So when it is two quantities, then it is the only two variables are going to be considered. You can have sums with 3 also, but here normally the sums will be of 2 variations. So that is when both the quantities increase and decrease at the same time, it is direct variation. The next is inverse variation. So what is inverse variation? Inverse variation is a variation in which if one thing increases, the other decreases. Okay, means अगर एक quantity increase हुआ तो दूसरा quantity decrease होगा. Like let's take an example. If I am going to travel from, say let's say I am going to travel 100 kilometers. Okay, I am going to travel 100 kilometers, and if the speed at which I am traveling is 50 kilometers per hour, then I am going to take 2 hours to complete the distance. So if the speed is 50, then I'm going to take 2 hours to complete the thing. If my speed reduces to 25, it will become 4 hours to reach the thing. So if the quantity is decreased, the other quantity increases, right? वैसे ही अगर मैंने 100 kilometers per speed पे गया, so if the speed increases, the time decreases to 1 hour. So you can see if one increases, the other decreases. If the other increases, ये decrease होगा. So accordingly, you will find that whenever both the quantities are inversely, means inversely proportional, means inverse ratio, means that one is increasing, the other is decreasing. Okay, so in this case, in inverse variation, you will see that if one is increasing, the other is decreasing, or if the other is decreasing, the next one will be increasing. So you can see that in this case, both are going simultaneously up or simultaneously down, whereas here, if one is going up, the other will go down. If the other is going down, the other one will go up. So in this way, this is inverse variation. Got it? So normally, in this chapter, you will find that you have got separate exercise for direct and separate exercise for inverse. Now, if it is a separate exercise for direct and inverse, it becomes very easy for me. But I think that maybe in the later part of the second exercise, you may have the combination of the two. It will be better to have that way so that you are sure that whether you have understood the concept properly. So, in case you get any sum wherein you don't know whether it is a direct proportion or inverse proportion, you just need to find out, you just need to understand कि अगर अच्छा ये increase हुआ है तो दूसरा increase होगा कि decrease होगा. Like for example, if I tell you that you have got food which can right now suffice for 8 students. Okay, I have got food which can suffice for 8 students. Now if there are 10 students, okay, so if I got 2 kgs of something which is going to suffice for 8 students, तो automatically अगर वही 2 kg रहेगा, पर अगर number of students 10 हो जाएंगे तो क्या होगा, हर एक को कम मिलेगा. Okay, so the food, the number of the quantity of food each one will be getting will be less, right? So like for example, if I'm telling you that I am dividing 100 chocolates among 10 students. So each and everyone is getting 10. But if I am going to divide this 100 chocolates among 20 students, then what each one will be going to be at 5. So if the students have increased, the number of chocolates each can get is going to decrease. If the students decreases, the number of chocolates each is going to get is going to increase. So that is a inverse variation. So you should know that whether it is direct or inverse, and accordingly you are going to solve the sum. Time and work I'll explain you later on because it's completely different part. As such, it's the same thing, but yeah, it will be slightly different. So we'll take it in the next when I am after completing this too, I'll take this thing in a separate form. Now, what do we do in these cases? In direct variation, you can easily say that if this is a quantity x and this is a quantity y, और उसका ये एक particular value है, so it's like this is let's say 10 and this is 10. So if this becomes 5, this will also become 5. So दोनों increase and decrease साथ में हो रहे हैं. So to get this value over here, we are going to do is cross multiplication. 10 into 5 is equal to 10 into 5. So in case of direct variation, what you do is cross multiply. Okay, in case of the direct variation, what you're going to do is that write the two terms and then you are going to cross multiply. For example, if I don't know this, but I know that अगर 10 के लिए 10 के लिए अगर 100 है, तो 80 के लिए कितना होगा? So what I'll do, I'll just say 10 into x is equals to 100 into 80. So accordingly, you will say 80 is equals to 800. So that is how you are going to get the value. So in direct variation, what the calculation, or you can say the mathematical format, what you are going to use will be cross multiply. Whereas in case of the inverse variation, what will happen is, suppose the same thing is that there is 10 over here and there is 100 over here. So what will happen if it is 80, then what will happen over here? Means ये जो condition है कि if this increases, so this will decrease. So if this is increasing, this will decrease. In such a case, you are going to say a straight multiplication. What you are going to do is, so you are going to have over here straight multiplication. So in this case it is this way. In here it is 10 into x is equals to, because you're taking it as x over here, is equals to 80 into 100. So therefore x is equals to 80 into 100 upon 10. So that will give you 800. Whereas here it will be 10 into 100 is equals to 80 into x. So x is equals to 10 into 80, 10 into 100 upon 80. तो जो भी decimal point पे answer आएगा, that way, like if you can take the answer for, so this will be 12.5. So it will be 12.5. So if the speed is 10 kilometers per hour, okay, if the speed is, or we can say it this way, if it is speed is 100 kilometers per hour, it's going to take 10 hours. So if it is 12.5 kilometers per hour, it will going to take 80 hours to reach something. This is just an example over here. So mainly, what is the important part? That when it is inverse variation, you are going to take the terms and straight multiply. In case of the direct variation, you are going to take the terms and cross multiply. That's the basic method what you are going to apply in solving the sums of direct variation and inverse variation. Okay, so we'll directly now start with the exercise 9, that is 9.1. So we'll be doing all the sums over here, and the example sums, that is the 7 example sums which are there, are your homework. So your homework is examples number 1 to 7, whereas we are going to do all the sums from exercise 9.1. Okay. So let's start with the exercise 9.1, which is mainly based on direct variation. Okay, we have got the exercise 9.1 first sum. It has got 2 parts. You just need to know that whether it is indirect variation or not. So whether it is the following are indirect variation or not. So for that you will just need to know that if the ratios, okay, so okay, I'll do this way. So it is 5. So let me write down the data. So x, y, 5, 8, 12, 15, 18, 20, 15, 24, 36, 60, 72 and 100. So in case of the direct variation, so we need to know whether it is directly related or not. So what you are going to do is we are just going to find out the ratio. So ratio x upon y is what we need to find out for each and every one. If the ratio of all of them are the same, then it is directly related. If it is not the same, then it is not directly proportional. So we have got the first one as 5 upon 15. So it is equal to 1 upon 3. 8 upon 24. Again it is 1 upon 3. 12 upon 36 is again 1 upon 3. 15 upon 60, it's 15 fours, it's 1 upon 4. 18 upon 72 is again fours, so 1 upon 4. And 20 upon 100 is 5, is 1 upon 5. So you can see over here, since the ratios which I am getting over here are not the same, since the ratio over here are not the same, it is 1 upon 3, 1 upon 3, 1 upon 3, but this is 1 upon 4, 1 upon 4, 1 upon 5. So since x upon y is not constant, so we can write over here, since x upon y is not constant, therefore they are not directly proportional. Okay, so we get the answer that they are not directly proportional because the ratio x upon y is not coming out to be a constant value. So if it would be a constant value, then it would have been. So let's see sum number 2. Okay, it's a very simple thing. We're just going to find out the ratio of x upon y. So next one is x, y. You got 3, 9, 5, 15, 7, 21, 9, 27, 10 and 30. So we have got ratio x upon y is 3 upon 9 is 1 upon 3, 5 upon 15 is equals to 1 upon 3, 7 upon 21 is equals to 1 upon 3, 9 upon 27 is 1 upon 3, and 10 upon 30 is equals to 1 upon 3. So you can see that since all of them are 1 upon 3, so therefore x upon y is constant. Therefore x and y are directly proportional. Okay, so x upon y are directly proportional because of this particular format, that the ratio x upon y is constant. We move on to sum number 2. Okay, quite easy ones. Remember that if the numbers given to you are not directly proportional, it does not mean that they are inversely proportional also, because it is not, these values are not directly proportional, neither they are inversely proportional. Question number 2 ka first, we have got over here x, y, then 3, 45, 5 and blank, blank and 90, blank and 120, and 10 and blank. So what we do is that we know that they are directly proportional. They are already given that they are directly proportional. That means the ratio of x upon y is constant. So over here we know that x and y are directly proportional. Therefore x upon y is constant. Therefore 3 upon 45 is equals to 5 upon, we can take this as a, we will take this as a, this as b, this as c, and this as d. So therefore a is equals to 5 into 45 upon 3, that will be 15, so it will be 75. So a is equals to 75. We again take 3 upon 45 is equals to b upon 90. Therefore b is equals to 3 into 90 upon 45. So it gives you 6. So b is equals to 6. Okay, we are just cross multiplying here. Next one, 3 upon 45 is equals to c upon 120. Therefore c is equals to 3 into 120 upon 45. So this is 15s are 15 8s are, so that will be 8. So c is equals to 8. And finally I got 3 upon 45 is equals to 10 upon d. So 3 into d is equals to 10 into 45. So d is equals to 10 into 45 upon 3. That will be 15. So that is 150. So d is equals to 150. Okay, so this was sum number second ka first, which are the values a as 75, b as 6, here as 8, and this is 150. We move on to the next sum, that is second ka second. Okay, second ka second. So we have got x, y, 4, 7, 8, blank. So we'll take it as A, B, 21, 20, C, 28, D. So we know that x and y are directly proportional. Therefore, x upon y is constant. Therefore, 4 upon 7 is equals to 8 upon A. So 4 into A is equals to 8 into 7. A is equals to 14. Next we see is 4 upon 7 is equals to B upon 21. So 4 into 21 upon 7 is equals to B. Therefore B is equals to 12. Next is 4 upon 7 is equals to 20 upon C. So 4 into C is equals to 20 into 7. 7 is equals to 20 into 7 upon 4. So C is equals to 35. Finally, 4 upon 7 is equals to 28 upon D. Okay. So 4 into D is equals to 28 into 7. D is equals to 28 into 7 upon 4. That is D is equals to 49. So these are the answers. A is 14, B is 12, C is 35 and D is 49. So these are the answers to question number second ka second over here. So just cross check the answers also. So yeah, I did not do it earlier, but yeah, you can know that. So A is 14, then 12, and then 35 and 49. Okay, now we move on to the numerical problems. So let's understand those properly and start doing it. We come to sum number 3. Okay. Sum number 3. If 8-meter cloth cost rupees 250, find the cost of 5.8 meters of same cloth. So we'll do one thing, that we'll write in a statement form. So it will be, we write it this way: cost of 8-meter cloth is equals to rupees 250. Therefore, cost of 5.8 meter cloth is equals to X. So it is this way. It is like cost and, it is length and cost are the two variations. 8 meters is 250. So 5.8 meters is equals to X. So cross multiply because they are direct variation. So we can write over here, it is direct variation. Therefore 8 into X is equals to 250 into 5.8. So X is equals to 250 into 5. We'll write it as 58 upon 10. Like this. Okay. So this gets cancelled. This is 4 and this will be 29. Yeah, so this is in decimal points only. So 29 into 25 is 225 plus 50, 72. So it is 725 upon 4. So that will give you 4 ones are 4 and then 32. So 8s are, then 1s are, and then 10. So it will be 25. So the cost will be, so therefore we can write over here that 5.8 meter cloth will cost rupees 181.25. Okay, so this is how we are going to write these sums in case of direct or inverse variations. You are going to write these statements and then you are going to solve those sums. So that is 181.25. We now move on to sum number 4. If a laborer earns rupees 672 per week, how much will he earn in 18 days? So, right, you can write over here. Earnings in 1 week, so we write it as 7 days, is equals to rupees 672. Therefore, earnings in 18 days is equals to X. So write over here days and earnings. Okay, that will be days and earnings. Days are 7, it is 672. 18 will be X. You are going to cross multiply because you can see over here if the days increases, earnings also increases. So it's a direct variation. So it is direct variation. See, it's always better to identify the variation it is, because see, in this sums I know that they are all direct variation because they exercise like that. But in case of examination, you don't know whether it will be direct or inverse. So you need to identify it first that it is direct or inverse, so that you are more clearer in your mind. Not that they are going to fetch you marks over here, but the point is that you are clear in your mind that it is direct or inverse. So now you know it is 7 into X is equals to 672 into 18. So X is equals to 672 into 18 upon 7. So 7 9s are 63. Yeah, 42, 6. So that will be equal to 96 into 18. So 96 into 18, 48, 72, 76, 0, 6, 9, 8, 12, 17. So it will be rupees 1728. So therefore you can say laborer earns rupees 1728 in 18 days. Okay. Keep a habit of writing the final answer in the form of a sentence. Okay. Always keep the habit of, in all these sum statements are very important. So keep a habit of writing the statements and even a end statement as the answer in a proper manner. So that was sum number 4. We now move on to sum number 5. Okay, sum number 5. If $175 costs $7,350, how many dollars can you purchase in 24,024? So it is like $175 cost rupees 7350. Therefore, X dollars cost rupees 24024. Okay, so it is this way. One side is dollars and this is rupees. Dollars 175 will be 7350. $X will be 24024. You can see more the dollars, more the cost. So direct variation, it is direct variation. Therefore, 175 into 24024 is equals to 7350 into X. So X is equals to 175 into 24024 upon 7350. So we can divide it by 5. So 5 3s are 15 and 35. 5 1s are 5, 23 and 4s are 35, 7s are this way. We can divide by 7, 7 5s are and 7 2 1 0, and then again you can still divide it by 5. So 5 1s are and 5 4s are and 42s are. Okay. Now this can be divided by 6. So 6 7s are, and this can be divided by 6 as 6 4s are and 0s are, zeros are and then 4s are. Okay. And then 7 से divide करके देखते हैं. 7 5s are 35. So 50, so 7 not 49 and 20. So that's right. So X is equals to $572. Therefore, $572 cost rupees 24024. Okay, that's the answer for sum number 5. So sum number 5, the answer is $572. We now move on to sum number 6. If a car travels 67.5 kilometers in 4.5 liters of petrol, how many kilometers will travel in 26.4 liters of petrol? So again the same thing. You can say over here that 67.5 kilometers in 4.5 liters, therefore X kilometers in 26.4 liters. So here it is distance and here it is liters of petrol. 67.5 is 4.5, X is 26.4. So more the distance required, more will the liters of petrol required. So automatically it is direct variation. So it is direct variation. Accordingly, it is 67.5 into 26.4 is 4.5 into X. So X is equals to 67.5 will be as 675 into 10 into 26.264 into 10 into 45, sorry, into this goes there, this is into 45 upon 10. So you can see the 4.5 are taken as 45 upon 10, so 10 goes here. The 10 gets cancelled. Now this is 5 9s are, and this is 5 1s are, then 3s are and 5s are, 135, and then 9, you can try this one, 9, okay, 3 3s are and 3 over here will be 3, yeah, 3 6 8 9, sorry, 3 8s are 24 and again 24 is 88. Okay, fine. And this is 33, 4s are 12 and 15, 45. Okay, so this is nothing but 45. Okay, we'll subtract this also. This is 5 2s are and 5 9s are, and this is 44. So this is nothing but 9 into 44. So that will be 9 4s are 36, and 36 plus 3 is 39. So liters. So therefore 396 kilometers can be traveled in 26.4 liters of petrol. Okay, so that was the sum number 6. I'll stop here for this video and continue in the next video with 7th sum.